The man suddenly noticed a horrifying sight in his hospital room. His legs had been replaced with mechanical prosthetics. He was utterly shocked and immediately checked his manhood, relieved to find it still intact. Without hesitation, he frantically crawled to the glass window, signaling his desperate desire to go home. However, the staff outside made it clear that leaving was impossible. The staff insisted that he needed to finish receiving his injections. It was then that Jack had a sudden realization. The reason he had been feeling so weak and powerless was because of the drugs they had been administering. But now he saw an opportunity. The staff's fear of him must be due to these mechanical legs, which surely held immense power. Quickly, he wrapped up his legs to avoid frightening his girlfriend and waited for his strength to return. Moments later, he was finally able to stand and walk. The question was, could he escape in one bold move? With his girlfriend by his side, he delivered a powerful kick to the steel door. To his surprise, it shattered instantly. The nearby staff scattered in fear, terrified of being killed by a single kick. From that point on, Jack no longer needed any access codes. He made his way unobstructed to the elevator. However, David still pursued him. David pleaded with Jack to return, insisting that only here could they be safe. But Jack didn't believe him. "If you try to stop me, I'll kick you," he warned. David, fully aware of the power behind that kick, had no choice but to let them go. Soon, the elevator reached the top floor, but to their utter disbelief, it opened to a bottomless chasm. With no time to ponder what lay ahead, Jack pushed his girlfriend forward as they desperately fled. Fortunately, there were no enemies in their path. Unfortunately, outside the chasm was a barren wasteland with nothing in sight. In these conditions, it was clearly impossible to continue pushing his girlfriend. Left with no choice, he had to wake Annie up. Supporting each other, they continued their escape. Before long, they saw a glimmer of hope, a car approaching in the distance. They frantically waved for help, but eerily, the elderly woman driving seemed quite abnormal. She kept rambling nonsensically and would erratically stop the car, claiming there were people in the sky watching them. The more Jack listened, the more frightened he became, concluding that the old woman had issues. So, at the next service area, he decisively got out of the car. He had Annie rest on a truck while he went into the convenience store to call the police. To his dismay, the phone was completely unusable. But that wasn't the main issue. The real problem was that he was now a wanted man. Jack instantly broke out in a cold sweat, relieved that the call hadn't gone through, or he would have turned himself in. Taking advantage of not being discovered yet, he hurriedly fled the store. Just as he exited, the truck his girlfriend was resting on suddenly drove off. He sprinted after it, yelling for the driver to stop. Little did he know